Welcome to Sisterhood Check-In. I am your author and coach, Nadira Lewis, and I am just really glad that you guys decided to spend your Friday with moi. I just want you to know that I do appreciate each and every time you log in to your Facebook or YouTube and watch the Sisterhood Check-In broadcast every Friday night at 10 p.m. I appreciate it very much. If you are watching us via YouTube, make sure you click the subscribe button. Make sure you click the notification button so that you can be notified every time we upload a new video. If you are watching us via Facebook, click like and share. If you have been blessed by the content that we have been giving and you have been receiving this far. So I just want to go ahead and tell you guys, thank you. I had a very good week. I can't really complain. And having a good week doesn't mean that things always go the way you want them to, but it does mean that you are able to strategize and get past the difficulties because there's no way to avoid things going wrong or things not happening the way you want them to. You just got to know how to roll with the punches. You know what I'm saying? Got to roll with the punches. Like my theme song said, go, go, go. You got to sometimes keep going. You got to keep going regardless of what's going on. So today we don't have an actual guest, but I am going to talk about a subject that's really been on my heart for the past week. And it's something that I've been thinking about, something that I've been talking about just with different people. And I want to talk about governing ourselves. I believe that when we understand the reality of the effect that comes with learning how to govern yourself, that just so many things in our life will change. It'll help us deal with discouragement. It'll help us deal with frustration. But we're going to go into it. I do have a presentation for you. Before that, I just take this time to encourage some of you. Listen, guys, I read all of your posts during the week, and just know that when I see posts where you are discouraged, even just not even on my personal page, just in different groups that I'm in, I just want you to know that I'm praying for you earnestly and honestly. And that I pray that whatever it is that your need is, that God will meet you there at your particular specific need. And so I just wanted to send this out to encourage you, and we'll be back after this.
Planning for college is an exciting moment in any student's life. It's the time when you learn to stand on your own and make so many choices for your future. Whether it is choosing the right school, discovering scholarship opportunities, meeting college test prep expectations, or establishing your career goals. There is no better time than now to get organized and to start planning. Are you academically ready to apply for college? Let the Office of Excellence be your college resource guide.
All right, and we are back. I'm going to go ahead and pull up this presentation that I did. So just bear with me a moment. I'm going to try to share my screen so we can get through this program. Make sure you put in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. And if you watch on a regular basis, talk to me in the comments and let me know how Sisterhood Check-In has blessed you. I am really curious to know how you guys have been enjoying the broadcast this far. So just bear with me one moment. I'm going to pull up this presentation and see if we can get this go ahead to be situated. Sometimes with these windows, just give me one moment. I'm going to get this window up, y'all, so that we can do the broadcast, because I've got something really good for you guys. I've got something that I'm just really excited to share. So I'm going to go ahead and try to one more time to pull this up because I really want you to see this. You know, you work so hard on a presentation and stuff, and you just want it to go the way you want it to go. And sometimes it just doesn't always do that. So let's see if this will work. Let's see. Hope you guys have had a wonderful week. Let me know in the comments how your week has gone. I'd love to hear, to give me some time to get this up. Let's see. I don't know if this is actually going to bring it up or not, but let's see. Sometimes technology, I tell you, I see how people get paid for um, technology because this, I'm telling you, this is something. I tell you, it's something. Hold on. What did I just do? And make sure you put in the comments. Let me know also um, where you watching from. Where is it? Where is it? Let's see. So apparently that isn't working, but let's see if that's okay. If we are not able to get it up, I'm going to try one more time. If I'm not able to get up, I guess I'll just have to talk about it from where it is. But I really, really want to show this broadcast. Let me see if I can save it and then put it to my screen. Technology for you. I tell you, see, these is one of those moments when things do not go the way you want them to, right? And you still have to find a way around it without getting yourself all worked up and getting frustrated. Because guess what? Technology is just that technology. There's just no way around it. You just got to just roll with the punches and just figure it out as you go. All right, try this one last time. And let's figure out what's going on, why it's not even popping up. But let's see. All righty. Let's see. Bear with me, guys. One moment. Okay. So since we cannot pop it up, and let me see if I can bring it on. Sometimes if you could bring it on another screen, and we can go ahead. Thank you guys for being so patient with me as I go through this technical thing, trying to get this screen up. Tried to have it ready before the broadcast, but you know, sometimes things just don't go the way you want it to. And you just have to just learn how to keep pushing. Okay. So, all righty. Let's go through this. Hopefully, this will work. This is really cool because, you know, governing ourselves is important because, like I said, it affects everything that you do. It does. It really does. Let's see. So, let's see. It affects everything that you do. So let's save it. Let's see if this happens. If this doesn't work, then I will scream and say, okay, hold on one second. Let's try to get this done. All right, see. Okay, there we go. See, I knew they'll tell you there's always a way around it. There's always a way around it. You just have to just be patient and let technology work itself out. So hold on, let me pull it up one more time. Let's see. All right, where to go? Where to go? Now sometimes you have so many files and you're trying to figure out how to get to certain files and you'd be like, I didn't realize I had so many files. So let's see. Let's make sure that I actually saved it under the right name. All right. OneDrive. Okay. All right. So now let's see. Let's figure out why this is. Okay. Try to get this up. Let's see. We are not going to give up. We are going to keep working to get this to go. Let's try. I know it's in here somewhere. It's funny because watch when I get to it, then it's going to show up. It's going to show up right when I least expect it. I promise you, girl. I promise you, you're going to be blessed. I promise you. You will not be disappointed. Trust me. You will not be disappointed. So let's see. All right, let's try this one more time. Doesn't want to show up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and just send this over and see if I can just do it from another section and see where we can go from here. Because some apparent reason it doesn't want to share my screen. All right, so we'll go ahead and continue. All right, so we're going to talk about learning the importance of governing yourself. Okay. And so when I say governing yourself, it means when you learn how to govern yourself, it's proof that you know how to exercise self-control, right? And so if you don't learn how to govern yourself for the purposes of exercising self-control, then what happens is your appetite will fight you to the grave. How many of y'all had some appetites where you have actually had some things happen and it's pulling you in a direction that you know that you shouldn't be in, but because you want it so badly that you allow yourself to be pulled in that direction, and it winds up killing you in some way. It may not kill you physically. For some, it does kill them physically, but for some, it kills you spiritually. For some of it, it kills you physically, meaning there's certain things about you that die, things that you may have been used to been able to do. Now you don't do it. You may have been a person that been able to sing, and you lost the ability of self-control. You messed up your vocal cords. You might have been smoking, drinking, or doing something that may have messed up your vocal cords. And now you have allowed your appetite for something that doesn't help you in becoming a better you. What happens is it winds up fighting with you. It's a pull and tuck, and you wind up fighting, and it'll kill something on the inside of you. Some of you might have issues where you're battling with your health. Well, if you don't govern yourself in the area in terms of health, then what's going to happen is you're going to have diabetes, you're going to have high blood pressure, you're going to have different things going on with your body because you haven't learned how to govern your eating habits, right? So when you pop up sick, then what you want to do is you want a quick fix. Give me something. I'll just eat some salad for the day, or give me something to give me a quick turnaround without governing yourself accordingly and saying, you know what? Yes, this may have been something that I struggle with. I'm tugging with it, but I'm going to govern myself and exercise self-control. Sometimes we have struggled with governing ourselves in the area of finances, right? If you don't govern and exercise self-control in your finances, then what happens is what? Stuff starts to happen. Your credit is affected. Your household expenses are affected. You're not able to pay your bills. It gets frustrating. You start developing stress because you can't pay your bills because you have not been governing yourself along with your finances to make sure that you're exercising self-control. It also affects your relationships when you don't govern yourselves in terms of and exercise self-control in relationships. Then what happens is it'll affect your marriage, it'll affect your relationship, it'll affect your friendships. When you don't take time, relationships take time. They take effort. It takes being intentional. If you are in a relationship, and whether you're married or single, and you are not putting in the time that's needed for that relationship to be cultivated or grow, then it's that's not exercising self-control. You spend more time doing being out in the street with your boys, out in the street with your girls, out doing your own thing. And what happens is it starts to kill the relationship, right? It also can be that way in terms of work. If you don't exercise self control and govern yourself when you're at your job, then what happens is you get fired. You know, you get fired or somebody else is replaced by your position, and then you wind up having to struggle to get your needs met. So it's important to understand that when you learn how to govern yourself, and it's proof that you know how to exercise self-control, right? Proverbs 25:28 says, a man without self-control is like a city broken and left without walls. You have to set up boundaries for how you want to live your life. If you don't set up boundaries on how you want to live your life, then what's going to happen is it's going to be anything goes with you. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just always available. I'm just always this. You just have no structure to your life at all. So you're not really governing yourself if you're not taking time to plan or govern how you're going to spend your day. So be that person. And Titus 2 verse 6, it says, likewise, exhort the younger men to be sober minded. First Corinthians chapter 10, verse 15 says, God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted above what you are able, but with the temptation also make a way of escape. You know, you have to understand that sometimes things come to distract you, right? To distract you and deter you from your purpose, from the plan of God for your life. The Bible says a good man, the steps of a good man are ordered. So if you know that your steps are ordered and you know that there are things distracting you and pulling you away from where you know God is taking you, then you have to be able to learn to recognize it in order to be able to activate the best choice in that circumstance. And that applies again to all areas of your life, right? So next, we're going to talk about God's assignment for mankind. In the beginning, he told Adam to have dominion over the earth resources. Okay. He told him to have dominion over the earth resources. And not only that, he gave him a responsibility to manage it, right? What are some things in your life you are not managing? Okay. Take a minute and think about that. What are some things you're not managing that are causing you to not govern your life the way it should be? Take some time and think about that. What are some things that you are lacking dominion over? You know, if God told us that he wanted us to have dominion over the earth's resources, then why aren't we dominating our own resources? Why are we not dominating the things that God has placed before us? Instead, we are just, like I said, some of us are not living our lives by design. We're living by default. So we're getting up, going to work, coming home, eat, sleep, getting up, coming. And there's nothing wrong with having a routine. But as long as that routine is still governing your life. If you come home and you go to sleep and you just want to rest all day, you're governing your health because you need rest in order to stay healthy, right? Sometimes we're asking God for more and we're not being a good steward over what we already have. We get frustrated because things are not working in our life the way we want it to. We get frustrated because we feel like, oh, I was doing this and this didn't happen. Well, how are you governing your life? Are you setting up boundaries in your life to protect you from making bad choices? Are you doing things in your life? Are you governing and exercising self-control in certain areas of your life that you can cause some of that frustration to be eliminated, right? You have to think about that. And when you are a person that has not self-governed or governed themselves, then you become like a chaotic person. And chaotic people repel resources. I'm gonna say that again. When you are chaotic, you repel resources. But when you organize your life, you attract resources. And I know that to be true in my own personal life. That when you have things chaotic around you and there's no order, God is a God of order. If you have no order or structure in your life, then what happens is you repel resources. But the minute you get yourself together and you begin to say, you know what? I'm going to clean up my credit. I'm going to work on, if I have to, work an extra part-time job to be able to get some things in order. Once you develop the mindset, or I'm going to start that business, right? I'm going to get up early in the morning. You may work from 9 to 5. I'm going to get up early in the morning and I'm going to work on my business before I go to work so that I can attract resources. And you'll be surprised when you start governing your life and your business, you will attract resources. All right. And that's just the fact of positioning yourself, right? Whatever you fail to manage, you'll lose. If you don't exercise and take care of your body, then you start losing the mobility in your body. I was talking to somebody one time and I was saying, if you just sitting down and you're not doing anything, you're not moving your body, then what happens is over a period of time, your body's gonna start aching and you're not going to have the desire to really get up and move because you have not moved and made yourself mobile. You have failed at managing your health. So when you're eating junk food all day long, right? And you listening to, and you intaking negativity all day, you're failing to manage your health. When you spend your money, and it's funny because we talked about this tomorrow. For those of you that are watching, tomorrow we're doing the entrepreneur roundtable. We do it every fourth Saturday every month. Make sure you guys watch on hashtag IBG. But it's going to be tomorrow at 12 noon. But that's one of the things that we were talking about. If you fail to manage your finances, then what happens is you start losing stuff. That car get repossessed. That house gets fall behind, right? Because we're putting our wants above our needs. You spending $300-$400 on wigs, and you over here spending money on how you looking externally, and you're not taking care of business. You're not managing your finances. So anything that you don't manage, you will lose. And I'm not saying that to judge you I'm saying it because I've learned that in my own experience. And there are some things I am still recovering from because of my bad choices. But the difference is I'm realizing I'm not blaming anybody for my choices that I made. What I'm doing is evaluating and I'm governing myself, right? When you govern yourself, then you make changes according to the information that is given to you. Because when you know better, you should do better. Okay. God doesn't create, God will give to whoever effectively manages. So it's this crazy because this makes me think about the parable, right? Of the 5 talents, right? He gave one person 5 gifts. He gave another person 3 gifts, one person 2, and one person 1, right? And everybody reproduced after their ability to be able to based on the gifts that they had. But that one person who had that one gift buried their gift, right? Because they were afraid. What are you burying, or what are you not governing in your life or in exercise and self-control in, that's causing you to lose or not be able to reap the benefits that you're supposed to receive? What is it? What is it? Think about that, right? God doesn't create expectation where there is no ability. I want to say that again. Let that sink in. God does not create expectation where there is no ability. Think about that for a moment. So God doesn't expect you to do something you don't have the skill or the ability to perform. He doesn't expect you to go out there and do a job of a nurse and you have no skills of the responsibilities that come with being a nurse. He doesn't expect you to go out and be a doctor to somebody where you have no ability, you have no education, you have no experience in that area. He doesn't create an expectation for you to do that. But if he imparts a gift inside of you where you might be somebody that can cook really well, right? So his expectation is for you to reproduce after the gifts and talents that he's given you, wherever that takes you. Just like I said in a previous broadcast, everybody's gift differ based on the grace that's given to them. So what is it that God has given you that you fail to fulfill the expectation because you're looking at, I don't have the ability. Well, if he's giving you the ability, I want you to know there's expectation to fulfill it. Just like the one with the one talent. You may not have a whole bunch of talents. You may have one thing that you do well. Well, guess what? Do the darn thing. You may have three gifts that you do exceptionally well. Do the darn thing. If you have five gifts and talents, do the darn thing. Okay? Don't pray for something that you can't manage. This is, oh my gosh, I'm telling you. We ask God, give us a B. Oh Lord, I want a BMW. I want me a house on the hill and I want this. But what are you doing to manage that? Are you managing what you have now? Are you managing your little Honda, your little hoopty? Are you managing your little Acura or your whatever kind of vehicle you have? Well, you can't ask God to give you more if you don't manage what you have. Stop praying for God to give you more and you fail to govern yourself in the area of the things that you already have. God will protect things from you. What? God will protect things from you. Well, what do you mean by that, Nadir? If you're not good at governing somebody else's stuff or managing somebody else's stuff, he will not give you your own. You're asking for a house and you don't even take care of the one you live in. You're asking for a raise and you don't even get to work on time. You're asking God, give me a business. I want to be able to own a business. I want to do this. And you can't even stay up an hour or two past your work time or at nighttime or in the morning to work on that vision. Stop praying and asking God to give you more when you don't have the ability, when you fail to initiate the effort that it takes to fulfill that. So God will sometimes protect things from you. So sometimes if doors are closing in your life, and this is for real, and this is something that I had to look at. If doors are closing in your life, you have to self-evaluate. Don't get in a pity party. Don't get all worked up. Oh, woe is me. You have to sit back and you have to reflect because he will protect you from some things. If you don't know how to talk to people, if you don't know how to treat your current relationship, guess what? You're not going to be in a marriage. If you don't learn how to appreciate the person that's in your life, guess what? If you don't appreciate your husband or your wife, I can assure you, you won't be married very long. Right? So God will protect things from you to show you until you show that you can be trusted with little. Look at Luke chapter 16, right? Let me pull this up. Luke 16 and verse 10. Luke 16, verse 10 said, he that is faithful in that which is least is faithful also in much, right? And he that is unjust in the least is also unjust in the much. So if you don't know how to govern and maintain what you have, you're not going to do well at managing a lot. It'll overwhelm you, actually. If you don't know how to manage 5 clients, he's surely not going to give you 10 clients. And it's not a bad thing. It's not, oh my gosh. It just means that you have to, sometimes we're praying and asking God for things and we're not praying for the capacity to receive. God, I want this, I want that. Well, what is your, do you have the capacity to receive the very thing that you're asking for? Right? So thank you guys. Thank you much. She says you are feeding the flesh instead of the spirit. Absolutely, Joanne. Eileen says, love this blessing. Thanks you. Thank you for watching, Eileen. Thank you so much. So when we're asking God, give me more, He's not going to give you more until he knows that you have the capacity to receive the very thing you're asking for, right? So think about that. We're talking about governing ourselves and exercising self-control. You were born to solve a problem. You are God, and you're God's response to a need that he created in the earth. Think about that. You were born to solve a problem, and you are a response to a need he created in the earth. So don't look at yourself as if you're not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm not. You weren't born by mistake. If you're here and you're alive to tell about it, just believe it doesn't. Your parents may have not planned you, but God had a plan for you, right? Your parents may have not thought that you were going to be here on this earth. Shoot, heck, some of them are still surprised the more you evolve. They look at you and don't realize that had they abort you, they may have aborted so many problems to people's situation. You know how many people's situations would have been unsolved if you were not here to solve that problem? You are an answer to a question God knew that your generation was going to ask. Think about that. You are an answer to a question in your generation that God knew was going to ask, right? You are a solution. I want you to look at yourself and look in the mirror and say, I am a solution. I am here because there was a plan and purpose designed for me to be here. Never mind the circumstances that got me here. I am here. And because I'm here, I am a solution. Solution to what? That's where you have to do your work. That's where you have to figure that out. That's where you think God's going to give you something and not and allow you to seek or allow you to operate or attempt to do it without him, and he gave it to you? Not. You have to create. There is a seek that is on the inside of you that will cause you to pursue it. Just like a bird, right? A bird don't go to bird school to learn how to fly. It's already built inside of him. A fish doesn't go to fish school to learn how to fish to learn how to swim. It's built on the inside of him. So sometimes you have to go on the inside of you and figure and spend time with God and say, Lord, what solution? I'm here. I know things are not going the way I want to, but I'm learning how to govern myself. And because I'm learning how to govern myself, guess what? I am a solution, and I'm going to figure out what problem am I here to solve? What problem am I here to change? Because there are people attached to the problems you are meant to solve. Next, don't work for money. Work to solve problems. When you work to solve problems, people pay you for solutions. I need a job. I need this. I need that. If you have a solution, when you work to solve that problem, you are paid for your solution. Don't get it twisted. People are not paying because they like you. Sometimes they do, and sometimes they don't. They are attracted to the gift that's on the inside of you because your gift solves their problem. So govern yourself to not be attached to if a person brings you up and like you and you're the best thing in the world until 2 days later, there's always going to be somebody who they feel is better than you. So you have to exercise and understand that I may not be built to solve every problem, but I'm going to focus on the solution that I am built to solve. And I'm going to give it everything that I got. And I don't care if that's one problem. It's like the person with the one talent. If I only have one problem to solve, guess what? I'm going to solve that problem with everything on the inside. Yes, Joanna said you have to get it from the manufacturer, which is our Father. Absolutely. It's like I said, he's not going to impart. It's like we're a package. Think about what a gift really is. You don't really know what's in a gift until you unwrap it, right? So when you wrap it and take off the ribbon, then you get to see when you put in the work to figure out what's on the inside. And God helps us do that. He ain't going to give you no gift, like I said, and then you disclude him from helping you. Sometimes some gifts you need help opening. You ever tried to open up something and you just couldn't get it, and you're just toiling with it and toiling with it, and you're like, man, I can't get this open, I need help. There's some gifts inside of you can't open by yourself, you need help. And sometimes being connected to the right people, being connected to God, there's some gifts God is only going to be able to help you open. There are some gifts you're going to be in the midst of people and they're going to help you open. There's going to be some gifts you're going to be able to naturally do, and they're just going to be able to naturally you're going to just naturally be able to open them up yourself, right? Either way, right? Either way, God has placed something on the inside of you. Once you find the problem that you were meant to solve, that's where you'll find your wealth. And I'm not talking about just finances. Don't get it twisted now. I'm talking about wealth. Wealth is having access to what you need when you need it. Riches is just having a lot of stuff. Having a lot of stuff doesn't bring contentment. You have minimalists who live with very little and is wealthy. You have people who live in poor countries and govern themselves a certain way and are wealthy. Don't get it twisted. When you solve a problem, you become valuable. People will pay you to help to solve their problem. And we're going to go ahead and continue with this. I'm going to go ahead and take a quick break and take a commercial break. And we're going to continue with this conversation. If you are enjoying this conversation, put it in the comments and let me know how this is impacting you. But while you're doing that, we'll be right back. We're going to go ahead and take a commercial, and we'll be back right after this. Do you have a business, product, or service that you want to share on the Sisterhood Check-In broadcast? Make sure you send us a message at becomingawomanofproverbs@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us at 470-560-5949. We look forward to partnering with you here on the broadcast. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to join me and international holistic health and wellness coach Charmaine Harrison as we begin to discuss all things health every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. in the Wisdom Clinic. I'll see you on the inside. You sometimes get overwhelmed and discouraged. But let me read to you what Colossians chapter 1 says, verse 8. Who also declared unto us your love in the Spirit. For this cause we also, since the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you, and to desire that ye might be filled with the knowledge of his will and all wisdom and spiritual understanding, that ye may walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of God, strengthened with all might according to his glorious power unto all patience and long suffering with joyfulness, giving thanks unto the Father, which has made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints of light. I just want to take the time to tell you, be encouraged. Don't let anybody take your light, and just know that God is always in control. All right, welcome back to Sisterhood Check-In. We are talking about governing yourself and learning how to exercise self-control. And this can apply to anything in your life. And we've talked about how you were here, you were meant for a purpose. God is an assignment that's already placed on the inside of you to you're built to solve a problem or problems based on the grace that God has given you. And I want to continue to talk about, and I want to stress the importance of, for those of you that feel like, because things are not going the way that you designed them, that you felt like you wanted it or planned it to go, right? And not really looking at the choices that you've made that contributed to you not heading in the direction that you're going in. And we were talking about the different things that affect that. When we don't learn self-control, then it will affect every area of our life, including our health, our finances, our relationships, and so much more. I want to read in Romans chapter 12, verse 4. And it says, for as we have many members, in one body, all members have not the same office. So we, being many, are one body in Christ, and every one member one of another, having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether it's prophecy, let us prophesy according to the proportion of faith. See, you can't even prophesy unless you prophesy according to the grace, to the proportion of faith. He's not going to expect you to do something where there's no ability. Or ministry. Let us wait on our ministering. Ooh, that's a whole nother section that I could talk about right there. Sometimes we need to sit and wait, right? Or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhort on exhortation, he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. Stop making a big deal out of everything you do. You got a gift to do something, solve it and go on to the next thing. Stop waving your hand and waving flags. Woo! I helped this sister out. Govern yourself, exercise self-control. Or he that exhort, or he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. Or he that rules with diligence, he that showeth mercy with cheerfulness. So whatever gift that's on the inside of you that God has given you the grace to solve or to fulfill, guess what? He's already placed it on the inside of you. So you don't have to go far to look for the compass on how to get it, because God sent you here already packed. You ever see some of those things? You ever see those little washcloths that are all bunched up and you have to pour water on it? And in order, when you pour water on it, then all of a sudden it starts to loosen up. And when it loosens up, then you get to see the fullness of the washcloth. Well, that's how it is with some of us. Sometimes we just need God to just pour some water. Just like the Bible says, some plant, some water, but God is the one that gives the increase. So when I come in, I may be sent to plant a seed and on the inside of you. For some, I might have been sent to water some of the dreams and visions and on the inside of you. But either way, whether I'm the planter or the person that's pouring water, or if it's the Spirit of God, it's still God that gets the increase. Still God that gives the increase. Let's keep going. Are you guys enjoying this? Are you guys enjoying this the way I am? I'm telling. All right. This is important. Stop asking God to remove every Goliath that you meet. I'm going to say that again. Stop asking God to remove every Goliath in your life that you meet. When your problems show up, they show you who you are. The Bible talks about how if you faint in the day of adversity, your strength is weak. If you give up, every time I time, oh my gosh, I got to go to this. Oh my gosh, I got to do it. If you always discouraged every time a problem is presented for you, you're getting a front seat of the type of mindset that you're in. You're getting to see you as you are. You're getting to see the immaturity. You're getting to see the areas where you need growth, right? That's why he said, don't think it's strange when trials come to try you, as though some strange thing has happened to you, right? Don't get overwhelmed and think every time trouble comes in your life, you're like, oh, I'm gonna tell you, I had a recent situation. And I was just like, oh my gosh, and and I was just, about to think about some stuff, and this gonna be like this, and ain't nobody got time for that, and I realized that I got all worked up for nothing. But what it showed me is that's an area of growth. When you are confronted with the truth of who you are, you need to stop just looking at it as everything that comes your way, it must be the devil. There's some things some people, I'll even say this, sometimes God put people in your life, right, who have strong personalities, who are secure in who they are, and who are mature, and come to you and sit you in your faith and say, you need to work on this. You need growth in this particular area. We're afraid of that because we think that when people sit down and begin to speak and to begin to talk to us, we automatically assume they're attacking our character. They're attacking who we are. Well, that's why you have to be careful of who you allow to speak into your life. Because if you have somebody that's in your life that you trust and they come to you and they're a friend or a confidant or somebody that you trust their judgment, and they come to you and say, you know what, Nadira, you need to work on this. I've noticed this about you and you need to get better at this. Well, guess what? If I put you in my inner circle, anybody that's in my inner circle, I have given by automation permission to speak into my life. Because if I've allowed you in my inner circle, I've given you access to my heart. I've given you access to my imperfections. I've given you access to my flaws. So I trust that whatever comes out of your mouth or whatever you say or about areas of my life that need growth, I didn't say it wasn't gonna hurt, but I'm going to look at it a little bit differently from somebody who is not in my inner circle, who I have not given permission or access to speak in my life. I don't know your intentions, so I don't know. I haven't proven your friendship. I haven't proven your intentions. So I haven't given you. So there may be something that you say that I might have to put in the holding cell and have to go through a what do you call it? When you get in an email, it has a virus scan. Sometimes you got to put stuff through a virus scan and to figure out what's on the inside. It might be something harmful in there, and I have to make sure that it doesn't get in my spirit. So I have to make sure that I do a scan. Yeah. It is the solution that makes you valuable, not your location. Okay? It doesn't matter. And I want you to really grab a hold to this. It doesn't matter where you live. Oh, I live over here and I live good. And I had some darn good fun in the hood. I didn't have I wasn't raised by my parents. I was raised by my grandparents. Okay. I didn't always have everything that I wanted to live. We all share the same room. I had to share rooms with my brothers and sisters. Okay. Been there, done that. I don't know, because I don't have the education. I haven't been to school. I haven't done this. Okay. There's always going to be a reason for you to look at that you're not valuable. As long as you're looking at things externally, look at David. David was in the field, right? Here they are. Here it is. Jesse's his father, and here it is. They're looking for a wife. I mean, looking for somebody to make a king, and they're going through all the other brothers and looking at where they are and what they're doing. Guess what? David was not in the most pleasant place, right? And David was chosen. He was chosen. God said, don't look on his outward appearance, but look on the heart. There are some things that God has placed on the inside of you, and you are looking at where you live at. Oh, I live on this side of town. I don't know about that. I live over here. So what? What's on the inside of you? What's on the inside of you? It doesn't matter where your location is. Your gifts are given to you, and your value has been placed on you before you even came into this world. And you're packaged with some stuff. So guess what? It doesn't matter where you are. You could be under a rock somewhere. You might be living in the shelter. Let me tell you something. I'm the person that can tell you I lived in the shelter, right? I lived in a women's shelter and made impact in the shelter. Not because I wanted to be some big shot. It's because I wanted to solve a problem. I was tired of what I was going through, and I was tired of seeing women around me go through the same thing. So eventually, as I was governing myself and getting myself together, I was helping other women, encouraging other women. So what, that I was in the shelter in the same boat as they were? But I was governing myself accordingly. I was working on some things and encouraging them and letting them know, look, just because you went through a bad spot, that is not you. That is what has happened to you doesn't mean that is you. It just means you have made some choices, some bad choices, And you just need to take some time to get yourself together, govern yourself so that you can exercise self-control in certain areas so you don't have to be in that way again. Exercise self-control. Stop allowing people access to you. You meeting people and they already moving in with you. You meet a guy and all of a sudden 3 weeks later he living with you. You haven't even given him time to even, you are not governing yourself. You're already in the bed with them before you even, I mean, you don't know what he got. You're not governing yourselves. Listen to me. Listen to me. Been there, done that. Wrote the book. Go and get it. What happened to me on Amazon? Yes. Trust the process. We have to trust the process. Sometimes we don't move unless we got all the answers. If I don't have all the answers, I don't know. I gotta have everything all worked out. Let me tell you something. To govern yourself just takes a decision, and it takes discipline to see in order to see change in your life. The Bible says that a faithful man will abound with blessings. What are you faithful towards? Right? Your blessing is being hindered because you're not being faithful to governing yourselves, right? Your leadership is in the problems you were born to solve, right? I was able to be in the shelter, and I was able to act in the form of leadership in that position. Now, it doesn't mean that I was better than them. It doesn't mean that I had all these accolades behind my name. It just meant I took a step to encourage them. We didn't wait for a pastor or a minister to come to come on Tuesdays before we were encouraged. I stepped up, and I was like, "You gonna get through this." I stepped up and said, we will be able to find our own place. We will get out of this relationship. You will wake up the next day and you will be able to get a job to be able to take care of your kids. I had to step up and do that. And that is when I started to operate in the leadership. It was like, it was already a part of me. Everybody that I was around, things that I did, I was impacting because I was born to solve a problem. Hear me. King Nebuchadnezzar promoted David, right? Because of the excellency of his work. So when you learn how to govern yourself and you exercise self-control, people will see the excellency on the inside. You want to own a business? What are you doing to govern your mind and your thoughts and your actions? What are you doing to govern and exercise self-control so that you can do that? Not everybody has the ability to work on their vision full time. Some of us have the opportunity. God has gifted us to have nothing but time, right? To work on our business. Thank you, Jalil. Thank you. Some of us, God has given us the ability to work on our business, to have the time to work on our business. But what's happening? We're not governing ourselves. We're not exercising self-control. So what we doing? We watching TV all day, So now you spent 6 hours watching TV, and now it comes time you see you want to change in your life, but you're not governing your life to match the things that you're asking for. Listen to me. When I started my own business, when I started as an entrepreneur some years ago, many, many years ago, and I talked about this before, I knew that if I didn't work my business, I couldn't take care of my kids. I knew that if I didn't stay diligent at keeping those appointments, the opportunity to generate income from what I wanted to do was not going to happen, right? So I had to do it even when I didn't feel like it, right? And I had to maximize and make sure I strategized that when I went to those places and those events, I knew how many people I needed to see in a day to generate a certain amount of money. I didn't have any money, and God, sometimes God just does things in your life that you can't even explain it to people. You just be like, he just did it. I don't even know how. He just did it. I wasn't able to get food stamps. I wasn't able to do anything. And I had to eat at Cece's Pizza every day because my daughter worked there. We had to eat at Cece's Pizza. My car broke down. I couldn't go anywhere. And I thought, how am I going to do? And there are times where I had to sit. Now, I could have took those times when we were there with no hot water, living in an apartment, a 2-bedroom apartment, no hot water, having to dance in the cold water, taking showers, having to govern ourselves. And I had to even make every moment to my kids and tell them, look, I would tell my daughter, you want to be a model? You want to be an actor? Well, guess what? You got to learn how to adapt. I was shifting her mindset so that I was protecting them from fear. I was protecting them because I could not really control what had happened to me. I had to go with the flow. So guess what? I would tell my sons, and you know what my sons would do? They would be in the room while I'm doing my girls mentoring program. My sons will be in the room doing their own YouTube show. They were doing YouTube shows before these kids were out here doing it now. We just didn't know how to monetize it because we didn't understand it at the time. But I would tell them, we're going to take a shower. We're going to shower in the cold. I had a washing machine. I'm talking about still governing yourselves. Had a washer and dryer. No washer and dryer hookup, right? Yes, God moves in mysterious ways. Yes. Didn't have a washer and dryer. I took my washer, put it in my room, and I started to tap into the creativity that I had. And guess what? I found a way to hook that washer up to my sink in the bathroom. And it was funny because my neighbors was like, if you don't let us wash clothes, we telling on you. You don't let us wash clothes, we telling on you. So guess what? I would charge them to wash their clothes in my washer in my room. They had to come through my little sliding door through my bedroom, wash their little clothes. And then you had to remember, right? You had to remember to make sure that the water that you're there so that the water can just sprue out in the sink, because if you didn't, you'll have a mess. And I can tell you, I had many days where that water went down on my and damaged my. I mean, we would have Bible study in our house sometimes. My couches would be soaking wet. And you have 20, 30 people at our house praying and having to put towels and blankets on my couch. Y'all know the ones who was there at my house. Y'all can attest to it. And having to put a bunch of blankets on my house, making the most and picking up the pieces and still moving with what I had, having to have everything together to govern myself. As I began to make the decision to govern myself, then things started to line up for me little by little. And God began to release things to me little by little as I began to show my faithfulness in being able to be a good steward over the things that he has given me. Get creative in solving problems, right? And you won't have to work for anyone else ever again. I'm going to say that again. You want to work for yourself? You want to get out here and you want to start your own business? Get creative, solve problems, and you'll never have to work for somebody again. And that's truth. That's just truth. When you think about something like oxygen, right? Oxygen is important because it gives us life, right? The sun is important because it gives off heat waves and rays that help us to survive. Rain is important because rain gives the plants life, right? It's the same way. There's something on the inside of you that you were built to do, that is already on the inside of you, that gives life to somebody else. And that can be relationships. It can be a business. It can be on a job. Because when you work on a job, you might have been called to be able to solve a problem on the job. And that problem could be anything. You have to be able to govern yourself. And I'm going to keep saying it until I drill it into your subconscious. Govern yourself accordingly. Exercise self-control, and you will never be the same. I do it every day. I constantly work on governing my thoughts, governing what goes into my ear gates, what goes into my eye gates. I'm constantly governing the company that I'm keeping. I'm constantly governing my business. I'm governing my parenting. I'm governing my finances. I'm governing my home. I'm governing my cars. I'm governing everything that's around me. And it doesn't mean that in governing that everything is all lined up the way you want it to. It means that you're making initiative and you're working on it. So day by day, the change that you see in my life and the change that you see in your life is going to be into direct proportion of the excellency that you've worked on by governing yourself, the self-control that you start to work on because you are governing yourself. Man, if you can only get this. So that's my talk. That's my presentation for today. For those of you that are just watching, thank you so much for watching. The first, you can, if you have missed the first part, you can always go back and watch the replay on YouTube, or you can watch it on Facebook because it does stay on the page. You might hear the first 5 minutes where I'm trying to get some technical stuff done, but get past that, and just get to the meat of what I'm saying. Govern yourself and exercise self-control. So thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And before we leave, I want you to watch something really quick. All right, you guys, I'll be back after this.
Refugees, dirty immigrants, asylum seekers, job stealers, that is what they see. Beautiful faces, thick accents, a melting pot of culture, holding 3 to 4 jobs, back pocket of hopes and dreams, seekers of opportunities, that is what we see. I am Georgia Lawrence, the founding attorney of Georgia Lawrence LLC. I was born and raised in Jamaica. I migrated to the United States with 2 suitcases and $200 to seek a better life. I understand firsthand the importance of having a fighter on your team to navigate the complexity of the immigration system. Hence the reason I chose immigration and human rights law. Here at Georgia Lawrence LLC, we take pride in connecting our passion and purpose to your plan. Give us a call today.
What's going on, guys? It's Daily Trades with Chris here. I'm hosting a 7-day webinar for you to understand how to trade the stock market, futures market, and the forex market. This one particular trading strategy has 3 steps. Okay, very simple. All you have to do is look for a trade, place your trade, and watch your trade play out. In this 7-day webinar, I'm going to be going over exactly how to get into the market, where to get out of the market, where to set your stop loss, take profit, and you're going to have a risk management rule in place too as well. Now, this Z trade, in fact, just dropped 400 points on oil. If you do the math on that, that's about $4,000 just from one contract. If you want to learn how to make $4,000 in one single day with the Z trade, respond back to this email right here. Comment below in this video, and I'll get back to you with all the information that you're looking for.
All right, we are back. So we are in our final segment. So I will be on for a few minutes to answer any questions that you may have concerning the presentation or anything. For those of you that don't know, I have written my first book, What Happened to Me? How did I get here? If you have not received my book yet and you would like to purchase my book, make sure you go to bit.ly/autograph by Nadira, or you can go on Amazon and purchase my book on Amazon. If you go to the link at the bottom, you'll get an autographed copy, and I'll make sure that gets out to you. And I'll send a special message to you. But if you want to get it on Amazon, you can get it on Amazon. If you have a testimony that you would like to share with the Sisterhood Check-In broadcast, don't be scared. Don't be scared. Reach out to me and let me know. I've had a lot of people to say, hey, Nadira, I want to get on your show, but I'm nervous. I'm scared. There's nothing to be scared about. This is a dialogue show where we are just simply talking about life in and of itself. And some of us need that. Sometimes you need to sit down with people and just really just talk. And sometimes allow people to pull things out of you in conversation. And vice versa. There's some things you may get from me, and there's some things I might get from you and learn from you. So don't be scared. If you have a testimony, reach out to me. You can send me an inbox at the @ Woman of Prov on Instagram or Facebook. Reach out to me and let me know if you are, if you have listened to the presentation and you have said, you know what, Nadira, I need your help. I need you to help me govern my life and my business. Well, I'll be more than likely to help you with that. Make sure you go to www. Make sure you put the http://www, or you can /womanofproverbscoaching.com, and make sure you sign up and let me help you get to where you want to be. You dream, you desire it, put some action behind it. Let me help you become everything that you want to do. Let me help you get that done. I have helped so many people be able to get on the road to operating and working their business. Let me help you. Let me help you. All right. So thank you guys for watching. If there's no other questions or comments I don't see, then I will see you tomorrow. Make sure you join us Saturday at the round table with Sister Audrey, with First Lady Francina Parrish, and with Carolyn Hunter, the CEO and owner of No More Tears, No More Fears, Audrey Hurd, the owner of IBG Productions, and First Lady Francina Parrish, who is she also has her and her husband have a ministry together. So make sure you join us tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. Well, we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship, and I promise you'll be blessed. And until then, I will see you tomorrow. Have a wonderful day. And thanks for your patience, guys. Thanks for just bearing with me in the beginning. Mwah. Love you so much. And I'll see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend. Will you do that for me? Bye-bye. Do you have a business, product, or service that you want to share on the Sisterhood Check-In broadcast? Make sure you send us a message at becomingawomanofproverbs@gmail.com, or you can reach out to us at 470-560-5949. We look forward to partnering with you here on the broadcast. Have a wonderful day. Don't forget to join me and international holistic health and wellness coach Charmaine Harrison as we begin to discuss all things health every Tuesday night at 8 p.m. in the Wisdom Clinic. I'll see you on the inside. You sometimes get overwhelmed and discouraged. But let me read to you what Colossians chapter 1 says, verse 8. Who also declared unto us your love in the Spirit. For this cause we also, since the day we heard it, do not cease to pray for you, and to desire that ye might be filled with the knowledge of his will and all wisdom and spiritual understanding, that ye may walk worthy of the Lord unto all pleasing, being fruitful in every good work and increasing in the knowledge of God, strengthened with all might according to his glorious power unto all patience and long suffering with joyfulness, giving thanks unto the Father, which has made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints of light. I just want to take the time to tell you, be encouraged. Don't let anybody take your light, and just know that God is always in control.